Tania.
Kate. This is not our podcast.
Oh yeah, you're here for Funnelcraft. Made me thinking we're doing our own podcast.
Oh, love.
I just thought we should just, keep it going.
Keep on brand.
Yeah, just keep on brand. So I have the amazing Tania Gerard here, who is also my co-conspirator, counterpart in ADHD Founders Unfiltered, the podcast we do. But you're not here for the podcast, are you? You're here for all your expertise.
Yes, I'm here for a very special event, Funnelcraft Live, to talk all about funnels and how to appeal to both neurodivergents and neurotypicals.
So important, because we have we have suffer from that shiny object syndrome more than anyone else, because we need quick fixes and therefore we end up paying more money out, and people call that an ADHD tax, don't they?
They really do. Yeah, and it's when it comes to funnels as well, so roughly 1 in 5 of us, so like 20% of the UK population, are diagnosed as being neurodivergent. Now, again, that's diagnosed. So a lot of us are coming out into the media of being late diagnosed, misdiagnosed. So that percentage could be quite higher. So when it comes to your funnels, it can be sometimes quite confusing or overwhelming or inaccessible to neurodivergents such as myself. So it's really important to really keep those user journeys in your mind, being open-minded, and the messages that you relate to people in your funnels as well.
And this is really important, because the reason I would really wanted you to come and actually talk at Funnelcraft was because you go into businesses and you help train the employers, the employees. You help train how they can be more inclusive, with the diversity of people these days. And it's about actually, what does that inclusiveness look like when it comes to the neurodivergent mind? Because it's different. And there are many businesses out there who are really, doing a fantastic job with disability awareness and everything. But when it comes to, ADHD, it's for me, or, autism, severe dyslexia, dyspraxia, all of those, neurodivergent, states of mind, it really impacts how we work as an employee, how we are as an employer, and that will impact if we have our own business as well. If we want to outsource, if we want to hire people, maybe they are, have an ND brain, or maybe because we do, we're going to be coming across differently. It's actually, now I'm saying it, I'm already getting overwhelmed and thinking, oh gosh, there's so much to this. And that's the whole point, isn't it? That's what you help break down, and that's what you're going to be doing for us on the session as well, isn't it?
I am indeed. Yeah, so we'll be talking a little bit about neurodiversity, just a little intro of what it is, and then I will be breaking it down into kind of like a little tailored process and top tips of how your funnels can, get to the point, be simple, have that direct communication within your user journeys as well, and kind of have the appeal to everyone. Instead of just having that 80% audience of neurotypical, you're going to have the 100. You're going to have the neurotypical and the neurodivergent customers in your sales journey as well. So it's just educating, advocating, and there's just so many just little simple, quick, effective things that you can relay into your funnels and in turn make more sales.
Yeah, because that's what it is at the end of the day. And you're also going to go through with us, you're going to give us some, we're going to have workbook there. And you're also going to be able to help ask some questions for people to actually have to answer there and then, because we've got quite a lot of audience participation. For those who don't mind putting their hand up, we don't all like putting our hand up. But to actually invite people to have a look at how they are within their business, with people around them, with work anyway. How are they outsourcing? How are they working? Because, we've got, this is a small piece, this is maybe a small cog in the whole of the customer journey process. but each key point, we have somebody to talk about branding and messaging, and they're going to be really key on point. And that's going to be great, because throughout the whole day, what you're talking about is going to be able to pull all the other sessions together. Say, right, you've learned this, and you've learned this about emails, and you're going to learn this coming up. I want you to look at it now with a different perspective. I mean, that's what we want to encourage people to do, to raise awareness of what it's like as running our own business, how we need to be mindful of outsourcing, taking on clients, our time within our own business, and also how we are when we start building that business. What is it that we need to know? What do we need to put into place? Deadlines. Some days we respond to deadlines and others we don't. Now, Absolutely. What does that mean if you've got a team? I mean, this is where you specialise, isn't it? If you've got a team, or you're in a team as part of a team, because there's going to be quite a lot of people here who are VAs. They might be watching who are VAs as well. And I know, had a brilliant conversation with Kelly Blondell actually, and she said to me, we had a conversation about, she loves working with, everybody that she likes, but she has noticed, and I did as well, that we have more chaos in our lives.
Yes.
And unless you're somebody who can understand it and is patient, that can actually cause a lot of relationship breakdowns, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's learning about yourself. It's learning about the people around you. It's learning about how you are as a business owner or an employee, things that you can do, and in terms of your business, as well as yourself, as well as self-care as well. And that's why I love this event. It covers all basis of a business. So, you have myself with neurodiversity. We have strategic leadership in the event. We have freelancing in the event. We talk about email marketing. So in this event, there are so many different areas that make a complete business. And I think it's great that, because we've got in-person people coming as well as virtual as well, some areas people might think, they're doing really well with. But that's the whole point, is because, especially with funnels, you have to do, constant review. Whoever is saying that they've got the perfect email process or the perfect strategic leadership skills, you could be good, but you're not great, because the world is changing around you, and there's constant bills in Parliament, and there's always a different social media trend which seems every second, let alone every week right now. So there's always something to improve on. There was always something to learn. And I think what this event will do is bring people together, both speakers like myself, where I absolutely love learning from other people. And, I'm never going to say I'm an expert in everything. I know a lot. I know an awful lot about neurodiversity, and I'm very confident in my skills, but there's always something to learn, So I think this event is going to be really important for both neurotypical and neurodivergent. And it's just learning. And I love the website as well. I love your opening video of how, I just loved it. It's just so you, where it's like, no one's back you to the back of the room to sell you something. And I know you personally, obviously. So I know that is very you. And that's what I love about this, is that there's no BS. No one's being fake. Everyone is coming here to educate, to advocate, to learn for themselves as well. And it's a very safe environment where we just want to have a good, fun day. It's interactive. You can talk to anyone. Even if you're shy, I think at the end of the event, you won't be as shy as you walked in.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, there's, I like going to events, and then some days I've even had an event that I booked and paid for, and I just couldn't go. And I managed to get refunds for travel and what have you. And then, I could watch replays of the event, but I ended up not doing it. And I realised why. And I didn't even really watch a lot of the talks on it, which was, you think, well, I couldn't get my money back on it. That was a loss. But
Yeah.
I realised why, and it was because I hadn't really thought through exactly what I wanted to get out of the event. And I think we get caught up in we need to do this. And yes, it's good to network, it's good for PR, but at what cost? Because you can easily just sit on go and do networking with business groups online.
Absolutely.
And also I did hear that from a lot of the different bigger events, if when I'm really on fire, I can go and I can do 2 or 3 days of them. But I don't always have time now. And this is the other thing as well, is that when you are busy as a business owner, it's more difficult and more costly to try and add that in, especially when you're starting out. So that's why I wanted to keep this more low key. So it's not going to be huge. And even if it grows for next year, there's still going to be ways around not making it too huge and overbearing. We've got quiet rooms. We get little badges which just say, I like my space, because it doesn't say give me space or ask me or put any stress on anybody. It's just a little thing which says, I like my space. It's like, oh, okay. So then there's none of that, we've met in real life. Do we hug or not? Those sort of awkward moments out.
Boundaries are set in place, and likes being introduced or interact the same way as someone else. So I think it's really valuable that you've given people choices that aren't normally there for other conferences in the UK. So I think it's amazing what you're doing.
I also haven't announced this yet. Well, by the time I might have done by the time this gets edited, although it won't take long. So it's only occurred to me that when I've gone to events, or my daughter has, if you're registered as with a disability, then and I know some people aren't, and that may be unfair for the process, but we have to sort of have some sort of line at some point. So I just thought, hang on a minute. I know a lot of people can only go if they can take a carer at no cost. And so that's what I brought in as well. Now, it may reduce the money that we bring in, but do you know what? That's what we're going to have, having to factor that in as well. Because I know not everybody's going to need to bring a carer, but I wanted to make sure that people could, because if I'm trying to bring in all these wonderful speakers, like yourself, obviously, to talk about, but how you're running your business, the little components of creating the funnels and marketing and making more sales and all of that in an inclusive way, in a way that we all get to understand, we have to make it as accessible as we possibly can, don't we? Otherwise, we're just talking BS again, aren't we? We're just paying lip service.
Which is what I love about this event as well. You've made it accessible. Not only have you said it's an inclusive event, you're actually actioning the inclusiveness as well. And I think a lot of people will be seeing that, taking advantage of that. And again, that's something else that's really missing in a lot of conferences in the UK as well. So I think it's wonderful that you're doing that for everyone, including myself.
Yeah. I just, so, thank you so much for, I will say thank you so much for agreeing to be a speaker, but I didn't actually give you that many options, did I? You had to. It was like, well, I need an expert and I need somebody that I know, like, and trust, which is what the whole thing is all about. So, you didn't have an option. You weren't allowed to say no.
No, but I would have said yes anyway, Kate. It's such fun to do this. I'm so excited for October. I really am. I'm so excited to meet everyone and educate people and learn so much myself as well through the other speakers and the audience as well. I think it's going to be wonderful.
Brilliant. Well, I can't wait. Lots, there's tickets available, and you don't have to worry if you buy a ticket and suddenly you go, I just cannot face peopling today. That's fine. We have somebody on hand to be able to just switch you over to make sure you can access on the live stream. And then if you're still having a bad day, we're going to be, within 2 or 3 days turnaround, we will have replays of all of it. and we'll make sure no one misses out on anything, you know, because, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So
Important.
get your tickets, folks. We can't wait to see you there. There's going to be prizes, and there's going to be fun and games and all sorts.
Oh, exciting.
See you there, Tania.
Bye. See you there.